Hi models.com, I'm Kate Phelan and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my work. I don't think I've ever really wanted to be in the limelight. I love being able to see what you can do when you transform somebody else. It's interesting how our industry now is forcing us out of the cracks and out of the woodwork, and that we are having to sort of explain our work in a way that we've never had to explain it before. You can't hide anymore. Oh, my first memory of images would be looking at my mum's Vogue on the coffee table. Ever since I can remember, I've always flicked through the pages of Vogue and just been sort of taken in by those images. It was only really when I went to St. Martin's that I started to feel like it was all falling into place, and I then got a work experience placement to go to Vogue. And as soon as I got there, it was like the penny dropped, and I was like, oh my God, okay, so there is somebody who's called a stylist. You know, I didn't even know that job existed. As soon as I started working as a fashion assistant, I learnt more than I probably could have ever learnt if I'd stayed at university longer. If you're curious and you're hungry for it, then you can teach yourself. You do need to have a certain level of knowledge about clothes to be able to really understand what it is you want in your pictures. If there was one story that I could pick out of everything I've done that I think really showed me the way in terms of what I was as a stylist, was a shoot that I did in 1998 with Tim Walker, and we went to Glastonbury. All of those amazing things that happen when you're on a shoot happen because of a sort of accident. You know, working with Tim, he's such an adventurer in photography and really triggered that appetite in me to venture far and wide and really explore fashion. That's what's sort of so remarkable about this industry, is that it brings together the most extraordinary, talented people that you sort of can't do it on your own. You need all of us to be able to do it. That's what I think is exciting and always will be exciting, is the new people to enter into the industry always end up changing it in some way or another. I love today how we're using casting in such a huge, diverse way, from all ages to all sizes. It's something that I think is really changing the way that magazines look and will continue to look now. The model is the star of the show on a fashion shoot because they're carrying the weight of your shoot in a way. I've loved always working with Kate Moss. She's always been such an incredible collaborator, and every story that I've ever done with her, every cover I've ever done with her, that you feel that she totally captures and makes it even 100% more than what you ever dream of. This was an incredible cover picture that we did with Nick Knight, and then I shot this story with Corinne Day. Corinne was an exceptional woman, and it's always interesting working with female photographers because I think they bring a very different sort of perspective and position from where they sort of start with their imagery. She always reflected herself very honestly in the pictures of women that she photographed. And I just love this picture. Somehow Corinne had this incredible way of bringing so much beauty and sensitivity into her pictures, but keeping them very young and youthful, which in a way was like a new look in terms of Vogue. Karen Elson, who came to Bhutan with us, and we had the most incredible trip. It's working with women like that are really interested in being in the place that you're in, so it doesn't become just a shoot, it becomes an adventure that you go on. Today, I'd say someone like Mona is, for me, the most ultimate in terms of the beauty of today. You can take her as she is, and she's an incredible personality, and she can also be transformed into something else as well. So I think she would be one of my favorites. But I guess out of all of them, Kate would be the person where I feel like she's stretched almost like my whole lifetime of working in fashion. I feel like all the things that I've done in my life so far are basically mapped out through issues of the magazine. Falling in love and getting married and having a baby and moving house. All of those things, those adventures in your life are laid out in front of you because they sort of date that narrative in a way. The pictures tell all the story I would ever want to say about myself. That's sort of how I feel that I can express myself, and that's my language. Come on, Rev. Come on, should we go for a walk? The future of the fashion industry is always a bit of an unwritten story. I think, we're so dependent on like the next generation of talent, the next generation of voices. I feel like the industry is a constantly turning wheel, and so it will always be throwing up exciting new things. One more. Go on. Let's go home. Thank you, models.com. Bye.